The Birth of the Art of War, a legendary military classic. Over 2,500 years ago, in ancient China, a military genius was writing a book that would change the course of warfare forever. His name, Sun Tzu. His masterpiece, The Art of War. But how was this legendary book written? What untold stories lie behind its creation today? We travel back in time to the turbulent spring and autumn period of ancient China to uncover the fascinating tale of the art of war. Scene 1. Fleeing the state of Qi. The birth of a military genius dot in the war-torn land of Qi. A young man in a flowing blue robe rides swiftly through the night. His eyes are sharp, his expression determined, and in his hands, he clutches several bamboo scrolls. This man is Sun Tzu. Qi has become corrupt. Talent is wasted here. If I am to leave my mark on history, I must find a ruler who will listen, under the cover of darkness. Sun Tzu flees south to the rising state of Wu, not knowing that this journey will shape the future of military strategy forever. Legend has it that during his escape, Sun Tzu witnessed a pack of wolves hunting their prey. The wolves didn't immediately attack the deer. Instead, they left an opening, tricking the deer into thinking it had an escape route. As soon as it dashed toward freedom, the wolves closed in from all sides, an inescapable death trap. Sun Tzu's eyes glowed with understanding. Surround the enemy, but always leave an opening. That night, he inscribed this lesson onto his scrolls, an idea that would later become one of the core principles of the art of war. Scene 2, the trial of the palace maidens, establishing military authority. The Palace of Wu. I've heard of your military brilliance, but words are meaningless without proof. Train my palace maidens as an army. If you succeed, I will believe in your skills. A sly smile crossed Sun Tzu's face. The next day, 180 palace maidens were gathered in the courtyard. They were draped in silken robes, their laughter light and carefree. Sun Tzu stood before them, his gaze cold and unreadable. From now on, you are soldiers. Training begins immediately. Yet, the women continued to giggle. Some even whispered amongst themselves. Sun Tzu's eyes narrowed. If orders are unclear, the fault lies with the general. But if orders are clear and soldiers still disobey, the fault lies with them. He turned to the executioner and gave a chilling command. 2 of the king's favorite concubines were dragged forward. In a swift motion, their heads rolled to the ground. The courtyard fell silent. The remaining maidens, once careless and unruly, now stood at attention, fear flashing in their eyes. In the military, discipline is everything. From that moment on, they obeyed every command with precision. King Hurlyu, stunned by the transformation, immediately appointed Sun Tzu as the supreme commander of the Wu army. This brutal yet effective lesson in discipline became one of the most famous moments in military history. Scene 3, the Battle of Ying, the ultimate test of strategy. The year is 506 BCE. The armies of Wu marched toward the powerful kingdom of Zhou. Zhou is a military giant, far larger and stronger than Wu. The Wu King is nervous, but Sun Tzu remains calm. Victory is not about strength, it is about strategy. His plan, strike where the enemy least expects it. Step 1, deception. Sun Tzu sends a small force to attack Zhou's eastern borders, luring their main army away from the capital. Step 2, the real attack. Leading a hidden force, Sun Tzu marches hundreds of miles through dangerous terrain, striking directly at Zhou's unguarded capital, Ying. The Zhou army, realizing the trick too late, rushes back, but their capital is already lost. Wu's army wins the impossible battle, This victory shapes the ancient world a smaller, weaker state defeats a superpower through pure strategic brilliance. Sun Tzu's theories are proven in blood and war. Scene 4, the Master's final chapter. Completing the art of war. The war is over. Wu has risen to greatness. But the court is filled with treachery. Betrayal looms. Sun Tzu knows his time in politics is over. He silently leaves the palace, disappearing into the mountains dot in the solitude of the wilderness. He devotes himself to writing every battle, every strategy, every lesson meticulously recorded. Finally, 13 scrolls are complete. The art of war is born. For centuries, the art of war has shaped the greatest minds in history. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, used it to unite the warring states. Cao Cao, the legendary warlord, studied it religiously, applying its tactics in battle. Napoleon applied its principles to his military campaigns across Europe. But the art of war is not just about war. It has influenced modern warfare, business, politics, and even technology. In China, the art of war is considered a cornerstone of strategic thinking. It is required reading in military academies and is widely applied in business strategy. Huawei, Alibaba, and Tencent China's tech giants use Sun Tzu's principles in global competition, leveraging patience, deception, and adaptability to expand their markets. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, China's global infrastructure strategy, mirrors Sun Tzu's idea of securing influence without direct conflict, winning without fighting, even in sports. China's national teams apply Sun Tzu's strategies of psychological advantage and meticulous preparation. In the United States, Sun Tzu's teachings have been incorporated into military and corporate strategy. The United States military studies the art of war at West Point and other academies, applying its tactics in conflicts from Vietnam to the Gulf War. Silicon Valley CEOs, including Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, have referenced Sun Tzu's ideas, using them in competitive tech battles. Apple's aggressive yet strategic marketing against Microsoft and Samsung is a textbook case of Sun Tzu's philosophy, knowing the enemy and striking where they are weakest. Even Wall Street traders employ the art of war to anticipate market moves, leveraging deception and intelligence gathering to outmaneuver competitors. Russia's modern military and cyber strategies reflect Sun Tzu's ideas of deception and information warfare. The use of disinformation campaigns and cyber operations in geopolitics is straight from the art of war, winning battles without direct confrontation. The 2014 annexation of Crimea demonstrated Sun Tzu's concept of swift, unexpected action and avoiding prolonged war. Japan has long embraced Sun Tzu's philosophy in both business and military contexts. Companies like Toyota, Sony, and Nintendo have used Sun Tzu's principle of adaptability, constantly adjusting to market conditions and consumer demands. The Japanese samurai code Bushido aligns with Sun Tzu's teachings on discipline, strategy, and psychological warfare. In the 21st century, war is no longer just fought on the battlefield, it is fought in cyberspace. Cybersecurity firms and government agencies use Sun Tzu's ideas to predict, prevent, and counter cyber attacks. Artificial intelligence and big data analytics are now used to apply Sun Tzu's concept of knowing your enemy more efficiently than ever before. Nations worldwide are engaging in cyber espionage, information manipulation, and AI-driven warfare, all of which align with Sun Tzu's philosophy. All warfare is based on deception. Sun Tzu once said, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. From ancient battlefields to corporate boardrooms, from cyber warfare to diplomatic negotiations, Sun Tzu's wisdom continues to shape our world. So tell me, are you ready to master the art of war?